Hey, I just saw this chat come in. I did sign in here like 15 minutes ago to just make sure everything was working, and it like started and ended my live stream. So that was, I didn't realize it was so like absolute. I thought I'd be able to at least pause it. It's really fuzzy. I think that made it worse. I'm gonna give it a couple. And Dr. Is it Shikol or Shikol? I'm not really sure how to say this. Are you still here, or was I don't know if I'm talking to myself right now. Sorry, I just like ended up logging off from work like 4 minutes ago, so I was rushing to get everything situated. I have to send a quick text, so I'm sure that'll be really exciting to watch me do, but let me just do that really quickly, and then I'll be right with you. But can you let me know in the chat section if it looks really cloudy, because it really does on my screen. But yes, hold on a second. Let me just, 1 second. Okay. Whew. I need to calm down, or rather catch my breath. I see we have one person on right now. I don't know if that is you, Doctor. Again, I would love if you can tell me, is it Shikol or Shikol? Would love to get just like a cloth to wipe my screen at least. I don't think I have one directly here. All right, I'm going to give it another minute or so, and just from the couple of people that are in here right now. So I guess I just want to get feedback. This is my first time doing this particular live. This is my second solo live, so still very new to this. But I did mention that I was going to be doing, instead of doing like a dual wash day series, I'm coming on here just to talk about the products that I've used in the first, I guess, 15 weeks of my BoB123 series, and just answer any questions and just like, you know, review like my favorites from all the collections and all of that. But if you have any recommendations or any preferences as to how, you know, I run this discussion, I would love to see your feedback in the comments section. But meanwhile, we keep fluctuating between 2 and 1. So I am going to give it another couple of minutes. It's very possible that my chat thing is disabled. I did that in the last time I was here. Let me just make sure it's not. Pop-up chat. I don't think that's going to help. Timestamps. Thanks. Okay, I see someone. I feel like, yeah, the numbers keep fluctuating between 1 and 0. I don't know if there's anything wrong with my live stream. I need to get someone to confirm if it's working. I'm just checking my settings right now to make sure that everything is working. I'm using a different, I'm using YouTube to do my stream this time, and I'm not sure that I'm doing it properly. Okay, yes. It looks like there is one person on right now. Can you let me know if you can hear me? It looks like my sound isn't working. Testing. I'm gonna check on my phone and see if this is working. Oh, okay, hey, so the sound is working. Okay, great. I guess I do wanna, I mean, I can get started now, but it looks like there are only 2 people on. I had pretty good engagement in the last one, so I don't know if I should give it a couple of minutes and wait and see if other people join. Okay, I saw someone else just, you know what, let me give it another 1 minute, and then in 1 minute I will get started. And again, if there are any preferences as to how I do this, let me know. But otherwise, I'm just going to go through, I think, each collection and talk about like my favorites and just general feedback. And I even like what sticks with you, because it's been several weeks since I've used some of these products. And I think it matters, you know, what I remember. Because if something, I mean, the memorable products are usually the ones that you want to use. So I will wait another 40 seconds, and then I will get started on those. I think also I'll just introduce the ones that I'm going to be talking about. They're in my thumbnail, but it turns out they actually look pretty small, so you might not be able to read them. But I'll introduce the ones that I will be talking about, and then we can get started. So I will start in another 21 seconds. There's actually like a live count on my screen, so that is what I'm going with. Okay. Sorry, I need to stretch. Okay. Okay, it has been that 21 seconds, so I guess I'm going to get started. So as I mentioned, but just to recap, I have been doing my BoB123 series, which has been fantastic. I've been having so much fun using the same products over and over and over again, because one of the issues that I had been having since I started my YouTube channel in February now, and it is what, December, I think? Yeah, it's December. Every single week, I was using different products up until I guess it was just August. So it's kind of hard. It is fuzzy. You know what? Give me 1 second. Let me get a like one of those like glasses cloth things. I think it's just because my camera is fuzzy. I mean, there's stuff over my camera. All right. The problem is I don't actually wear glasses anymore, so I don't have those little cleaning cloths readily available anymore, but I'm trying a tissue. What just happened? I just switched tabs. Okay. All right, let me know if that's any less fuzzy. It still looks fuzzy. I'll have to figure out what that is, what the issue with that is next time. Sorry about that. All right, let me know if it's any less fuzzy, but it actually looks the same to me. But anyway, so the struggle that I was having is that I was using different products every single week. So people would ask me, you know, what do you think about this product? And I used it once, like what, 4 or 5 months ago. I really didn't remember. So that's why that was kind of what inspired me to start doing this whole 3 wash day series in a row, because now I actually have a good memory of what the products are and like how all of them how all of them worked in my hair. But again, this series is going to go on for a very long time because, as I said, I've done 5 brands so far, but that has taken me 15 weeks. So I also have, you know, I would say most of these aren't behind me, if not all of them actually. Yeah, I guess I haven't reviewed any of these yet in my series, and I fear that I'm just going to forget what my thoughts are. So I figured every 5 or so, I would come on here and just talk about them. If anything, to have a record myself for what I'm thinking about these products, you know, a few weeks after I stopped using them. So I'm just going to go through the ones that I have used. I guess let's start with Camille Rose. And I actually don't have all of my Camille Rose products anymore. I know that I used up the, the Deep Sea Algae Renew. It's something like that. I used that because when I did my blow dry and trim, I actually used that product and I finished it off. So right now I have the Sweet Ginger Cleansing Rinse, the Curl Maker, and then I have the Latte Define and the other 2 products in this collection. I think Christina might have them in her room. But I have the Honey Hydrate, and then it would be the, whatever the oil is. I feel like it's some kind of like tea latte or something like that. But those are all of the products that I use, and also the Almond Jai Twisting Butter. So I think I'm going to start out by just going through like my favorites from each collection. I think I'm going to start that way. And again, if there's any questions that you have about any of the products that I use and what I even remember, because I guess I used these products, I would have say the last time was 12 weeks ago. So the standouts from this particular line for me were the Deep Sea Algae Renew. Before using that deep conditioner, my favorite had always been when I say always, again, I've only been like natural since February, but it's been a while. So yeah, my favorite had always been the Honey's Handmade omega-3 and fatty acid deep penetrating hair mask. And when I used the Deep Sea Algae Renew, I got the same kind of, the second week that I used it, I believe, I got the same kind of results and the same response, like my response, because it was my initial, unguarded response that I did with the Honey's Handmade. So that at that point became my favorite deep conditioner. So definitely for me, that was a standout. And then when I used it, I want to say like 11 weeks post for my blow dry and trim, it gave me the same kind of response. So I would say at this point that for me at least, again, my hair type, my hair characteristics and all that, the Deep Sea Algae Renew Camille Rose deep conditioner was fantastic. Unfortunately, I didn't try any of the other lines. I know they have the coconut water, which has been really highly rated just in reviews, and the lavender line. And then there's also the Around the World collection. But the reason I didn't look into the Around the World collection is that it's just deep conditioners and oils. And I like to do full collections from a brand when I do it. And I don't really like to mix and match. I like things to be very clear, like I'm supposed to use this in this order. So I haven't purchased from them. But anyway, so the Deep Sea Algae Renew was a standout deep conditioner. And then my second favorite was the Almond Eye Twisting Butter. And I say that just because it had such used and it's funny, like you don't really know what hydrating or moisturizing or softening means until you use a product where you self again. When I used the Almond Eye Twisting Butter, it was incredibly thick. I wish I had, I don't have it here, but it's incredibly thick, but it was also incredibly moisturizing, and that moisture stuck around. Although the one thing I will mention, and a couple of people left in the comments the same kind of reaction, and I didn't notice this until the third week, and I think it was actually after I finished the review. One thing I did notice is that a couple days removed from my wash day, I did notice a little bit of I'm afraid to use this word because it sounds very derogatory, but I really don't mean for it to be, but it felt a little bit greasy. So I don't know actually if that was from the Almond Eye Twisting Butter or I don't think it would have been from the Curl Maker or from the oil, but that is something that I noticed. And again, a couple of people mentioned the same thing. So that is something to just look out for with those products. But other than that, I would just say the standouts from that collection, it was the Deep Sea Algae Renew and the Almond Eye Twisting Butter. Have any of you, just like before I move on to the next brand, have any of you used Camille Rose, and do you have any favorite products from that? And if you've used any of the other collections in addition to the signature collection, I'd be interested in knowing if one was a standout to you versus the others. Let me just, hey Ashley, thank you for joining. Yes, it's always keep to good. Yeah. I mean, keeping track when using so many different products, it is really difficult. So even just for myself, I'm really glad to have record of this to see what I remember, 6 weeks removed. So I guess the next product that I used, if nothing on the Camille Rose, was, sorry, there's a lot of people in the house right now, so it might be noisy on and off. So, you lost me for a moment. I don't know at which point. What was the Honey Hydrate? So you've used that. So another thing about the Camille Rose Honey Hydrate, and I didn't notice this until it would have been the second time that I used it. And let me know if you had the same experience. But it also doesn't mention this on the bottle, but the Honey Hydrate has heat activation in it, which I was very surprised to, I was very, very surprised to see. It sounds like in theory, it sounds like a really great thing for a leave-in conditioner because, like, for instance, if you have low porosity hair, the guidance is always to open up your hair follicles. Cuticle, yeah, to open up your cuticles by using heat to allow the moisture to penetrate your strands. So I would think in theory that using something with heat activation would actually be really, really good for low porosity. So I thought that was nice, and I'd never seen that in another product. Plus, it was the most hydrating leave-in conditioner. Let me just think on that for a second. Yeah, I think that was the most hydrating leave-in conditioner that I'd ever used. And when I say hydrating, I mean like at that particular moment when I applied it, it was incredibly hydrating. The Camille, I like the Curl Aid Moisture Butter over the Almond Eye. Really? Okay. So the Curl Aid Moisture Butter, I know they have a new line. I know that Camille Rose recently came out with a new line. Is that new, or is that one of the, existing products. Another thing about this, like, you know, going through all of these brands, it is 3 weeks, which again, for me feels like a really, really long time. But I know a lot of people were asking that I review the Camille Rose, I think it was the coconut line. And I would love to do this, but I don't think that I necessarily want to spend 6 weeks on one brand. So that is the only problem. And like, I get these product recommendations after the fact, but because of the way that my videos are scheduled, because I do wash day reviews every single week, so I'm in real time, you know, I'm doing my hair and I'm doing a video. So it's not like I can just like I mean, I can, it's my channel, but, and I can just I can take a week off, but it's not like I can really just like stop to test out one specific product. So that it's a little bit of a hurdle that I have to keep jumping. It's from the OJ line. I've never heard of that. It's new. Okay. Yeah, I did hear that there was the Curly is part of the signature collection. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't come across that. But then again, I actually purchased my products on, it was on Sally Beauty. And then it was only after I bought those products that I saw that there were so many other products that I didn't even look at, because I just really went on, I think it was one of those things where I had like 5 days and I wanted to get the products in time for my review. So I just like went on Sally, did a search for Camille Rose, and they just bought whatever they had in stock, which at that point just ended up being the signature collection. Yeah, I didn't see that product. I'm gonna take a look at that when I leave this live. I've never heard of the Curlaid before, either in reviews, and I didn't see it on their website. But I will, the Curlaid. So is it like is it like the what's it called? What is this? The curl maker? Is it just another curling cream or a curling gel, or what is it for? But you know, while you're answering that, I am going to move on to the next collection that I reviewed on my channel. And for a while, this is Melanin Haircare. So it actually worked out really well for me. This is completely irrelevant to this review, but it worked out because she actually released the new shampoo at the time that I was finishing up Camille Rose. So it was a perfect time for me to actually just rush and get this and then just use it as part of the second brand in my series. So that was just really fun for me. It's a buttercream, just like the almond joy, really. Okay. Again, I would love to try that. But I always want to try products. But I will keep that in mind if I ever go out and buy more Camille Rose products. Maybe when I eventually finish this series, which I actually didn't think was gonna be going on for this long, but there are so many brands out there. And one of the things that I'm really excited about is all of the small brands that, like, most people that, you know, you come across have never heard of, but their products are so much, at times they are so much better than what it is that people are buying in drugstores and what people are widely aware of. And let me just mention, Ashley is here. Ashley from Beau Peep Luxuries. Beau Peep Luxuries is definitely one of those incredibly pleasant surprises that I came across. Those products, that collection, at least for me, it's my favorite among all of the collections that I've ever tried before. And that was just based on the end result. My hair had never felt that great before. So, you know, it's really fun coming across these brands. And there's so many of them that I'm just discovering by literally just like looking for them on Instagram using hashtags that are relevant to, like, you know, clean ingredients and that kind of thing. Plus, I have a lot of subscribers sending me out recommendations. So my queue is pretty full, even just based on the products that I have behind me. But there are so many other brands that I have my eye on. But anyway, to go back to a little bit, better known brand because of, you know, Whitney, Melanin Haircare. So this was the second one that I reviewed. And I will say, before I talk about like my favorite, the oil is in another room, but I do have that also. So with Melanin Haircare, again, until trying out Beau Peep, these products worked better than any other products had in the past. Yeah, no, and the drugstore brands, I feel like, and I haven't been in a drugstore in a really long time at this point, but I feel like the only like brands for natural hair that they have in drugstores are Camille Rose, Mane Like Me, and Mane Like Me, I think they only have like one line, that like golden black one might be the first one. Camille Rose, Mane Like Me, Shea Moisture, and Shea Moisture is just all over the place, and I haven't used that in a very long time, and I don't think I ever will again. And maybe there might be one or two more, but it is crazy the lack of selection that you can get. But there are so many available out there. But I think also, I mean, it's distribution. A lot of them are so small that they're not going to be in the drugstores. But the hope is that, you know, maybe in a few years that we will have the tiny brands or the smaller, lesser known brands like Beau Peep and like even, I mean, I guess Sultanicals is not particularly small at this point, I wouldn't say, but I mean, they're not in CVS. And there's just so many brands that it would be great if they were out there. But anyway, so Melanin Haircare, before Beau Peep, this was my favorite collection. And one of the things that I love about this line, and I think I mentioned this in all 3 of my videos, is the fact that I didn't have to get back into the shower, manifest it. I like that pun because you have she has her manifest oil that I've been using as my Prepoo for the last few weeks. So, haha. So yeah, the thing I love about this collection is that the leave-in conditioner, which I'm very sad to say, I'm probably going to run out of this before I'm able to repurchase, because Ulta, I believe, has been out of the leave-in conditioner for several weeks at this point. At least that's what I've heard from other people. And then on Black Friday, I was trying to get it there, but I mean, that was just like a pipe dream. They have it on their website, but I wanted to stock up and get like 2 of them. And I don't want to, I think when I put it in my cart, it was like $42 to buy 2 leave-in conditioners. And I'm not doing that. And that's because of the shipping. So I'm going to wait until Ulta Beauty gets them back in stock. And, you know, meanwhile, I'll just continue to use the Manifest oil from Beau Peep. And I probably have some leftover conditioner. Yeah, I can use the Satin Silk conditioner from Yamini. So anyway, Melanin Haircare. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. The thing I love about using these products is that you don't have to wash this out of your hair. It is a leave-in conditioner and a deep conditioner. So I figured that must mean that there's no problem if I just keep it in my hair. So that's what I did. So being able to apply this and not having to get back in the shower was really great. I don't think the leave-in conditioner is as great as the best deep conditioner that I have used, but I feel like this kind of took over. This is the Twist Elongating Style Cream. So having this as a deep conditioner and leave-in base provided a good enough base that I was able to maintain moisture for 7 days using this cream. I know this cream is, I don't want to say it's controversial. That makes it a little bit too dramatic, but a lot of people hate it. A lot of people like it. A lot of people love it. Like it. I feel like the responses to this are all over the spectrum. It is incredibly, incredibly thick. You can't see how thick it is by me showing it to you. It does not smell great anymore. Another problem I have is shelf life, because I can never go back to my products because I have to move on to the next. And I mean, these products never smelled good before, but then I know when I use them, I think I sniff tested this in like the last live that I had, and it smelled really good. And now it actually smells pretty bad. It smells a little bit rancid, actually. Ooh, it's not great. But anyway, this cream, regardless of what it smells like, it worked really, really well in my hair. It was one of those products where I've been mentioning recently in my reviews that a lot of products, you have to let them sit for a couple of minutes before they get really slippery. This one, you put it in your hair and it feels like it's like detangling your hair on its own. Like it feels like it's taking over. So I actually love this cream, but I know if you have finer strands, it might be too thick for you. And then some people, it just sits on top of their hair. For me, it actually penetrates and it provides the lasting moisture. It provides a good amount of definition. And I think it's an overall really, really great product. But another problem that a lot of people have with this line is a lot of people are sensitive to coconut milk, coconut oil, shea butter, and glycerin. And I believe all of the products except for the black soap shampoo, all of her products, and the oil doesn't have those either. But the leave-in conditioner and the styling cream both have in all 3 of those products. So, I mean, as it goes for shampoo, it's very hard for me to say what I really feel about a shampoo, because I feel like in my experience, they pretty much all clean my hair and they clean my scalp. So it's just a matter of, for me, like, you know, can I detangle with it? I mean, and I don't even really need to detangle with a shampoo. So, and I will get to that. But having said that about shampoos, the Awakening from Beau Peep. This is actually my favorite shampoo now. This along with the Classy Hair, but I will get to that. So that's pretty much all I have to say on Melanin Haircare. Let me know if you have any questions about it. Yeah, Melanin is good. Ulta is the way to go because they have coupon codes. And because I rushed to get this in time to at least put out a review, so I would be, you know, among the first reviews on this one. I ended up spending, what was it? I think I mentioned in my video. I think I spent like $38 to get this here in like 4 days. And, you know, while I did get a good number of views on that video, I'm not spending that kind of money on a product again for no reason. I feel like I can figure out the Prepoo situation. So that was, we've done Camille Rose and Melanin Haircare. So the next brand that I reviewed was, and I think Christina has some of these products as well. So I actually only have 2 here from on my shelf. This is Mane Like Me. So I have here well, they have a shampoo, a conditioner, but the conditioner is not specifically a deep conditioner. It's a rinse out conditioner, which I ended up using as a deep conditioner. So they have the shampoo. That's not the shampoo. They have a shampoo, a conditioner, and then was there a leave-in? This was actually meant to be the leave-in. This is the 10-in-1 Mane Revitalizer. It claims to do a whole bunch of stuff, and I mentioned this in my review. It did not work for me at all. My hair did a lot better when I did not use this as a base. But the moisturizing hair pudding and the oil, which I would have thought was here, but I mean, whatever. The packaging all looks like this. This and the growth oil. There's an oil. These 2, I would say, were the standouts from this collection because they worked really, really well together to give me the most shine that I've ever gotten from a product before. So I'm sorry, I didn't mention like I did. Yes. I'm calling out my favorites from each collection. So for Melanin Haircare, it is the Twist Elongating Style Cream. So from the Mane Like Me collection, and because you kind of emulsify them in your hands together, I would say the hair pudding and the growth oil were by far my favorites. I know I'm not doing least favorites because I mentioned it. This for me was my least favorite. I was actually going to use this in maybe Layla's hair because Layla has a completely different hair texture than I do. In like half of her head. Layla is for those of you who might not know, Layla is my daughter. She's, I don't know how old she is at this point. She's maybe 16 months. Approximately 16 months. She's still trying to figure out what her hair is going to be. So in the front, it's actually very like silky and like prone to like retaining moisture. But in the back, her hair is like very, very dry and it doesn't have the same curl pattern. It's kind of, you know, so I figured hello, Nick. Layla's 15 months old. No, she's going to be 16 months tomorrow. You look blurry, or is it just me? I don't know. I look fuzzy on my screen and I keep trying to, well, I've tried before. I was trying to just clear. I don't know what's going on. Ugh, now it just got really dark. I'm using my webcam and I don't really know how I can adjust it. But someone did mention earlier that I looked a little bit, 15 months tomorrow, that I looked a little bit blurry. Sorry about that. I'll try to fix that for my next live. I don't know why I look like this, but it does look really bad. 15 months old tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Layla's gonna be 15 months old tomorrow. But anyway, my point is I was going to use this in her hair because I figured that maybe this is just not meant for coarser textures of hair. But I was looking at the ingredients and there are pegs in here, and I just did my whole thing about how I'm not using products with pegs anymore because of the potentially carcinogenic properties of it. So let me just confirm this. Yeah, it's the 3rd ingredient. I don't actually know. There's PPG 12, PEG 50. I don't know what PPG 12 is, but given that it's followed by a PEG 50, I'm not going to put this in her hair. So, you know, it is a shame. This didn't work for me. I'm not putting it in my children's hair. So it's kind of just here for decoration right now. So, you know, but the rest of the products are really clean. And as I said, the oil and the pudding worked really, really well together. And these were the standouts for me from the collection. I don't think that the conditioner that I used, the deep conditioner, can really compete with the best deep conditioners. So, and the shampoo, I mean, as I mentioned like a few minutes ago, it's a shampoo. I mean, it cleaned my hair. So, you know, thank you for that. But there was nothing really stand out about it. I feel like it might have been, I don't remember. I should have, well, no, watching all of my reviews before coming on here would be taking way too long and I wouldn't have had time for it. But the shampoo, I feel like it might have had a little bit of slip. And I keep saying that I'm going to stop mentioning when shampoos have slip because who cares? You don't really need a shampoo with slip. but it's nice to know. So I am going to, yeah, so the growth oil and the hair pudding from that collection were my favorites. Hey, PSR, thank you for joining. So what I'm just to catch anyone up, I see there have been a few people that have joined in the last few minutes. I am walking through the first 5 brands that I've done in my BoB123 series because I am not going to be breaking for a dual wash day series because that would take way too long and people seem to really be enjoying the series that I'm doing right now. So I'm going to keep going with that. But every 5 brands or so, I'll come on, I'll do a live and talk about the collections that I have reviewed, the last 5 collections that I reviewed, my favorites from each collection, and just like answer any questions that anyone might have. So I am moving on to, so I've already gone over Camille Rose, Melanin Haircare, and now I'm going on to, oh no, okay, sounds good. I'll talk to you later. So now I'm going to be going on to the next one is, the next one was Beau Peep. So, and I know I keep talking about this collection, but it's because the products were so, these were different than any other products that I have used before. And again, not necessarily as I was applying them, but after I completed the wash day. And like, for instance, I know that when I was putting in the, some of the stuff that was sent is not in the original packaging, so I have to see if I remember the names. But I have the Awakening shampoo. This is the other shampoo. I don't remember what it's called, but this is the detoxifying shampoo, the Awakening. This is I think it was just like a moisturizing shampoo, blanking on the name. This is the strengthening deep conditioner. I have the moisturizing deep conditioner, and then I had a conditioner, the Radiant, and then I had the 3-in-1 and the Manifest oil. So sorry, I went through that relatively quickly, but as I was saying, what I was starting to say is that for styling, I was using the 3-in-1. It's Supreme. No, the Supreme was a conditioner. So the Radiant 3-in-1. So I was using the 3-in-1, Radiant 3-in-1 along with her Manifest growth oil. And on application, and this is even through my gloves, because I do feel like sometimes my gloves make things feel a little smoother than they might actually be. Radiant. Okay, right. Yes. So yeah, as I was using the Radiant and the Manifest oil, I was using those together just to style. The Radiant is like a 3-in-1. So that was just like my one product styler. As I was applying it, it was not feeling the most moisturizing. It didn't deliver the most slip. I mean, I was able to detangle because by the time I get to my styling, my hair is pretty much already detangled. So it's not really an issue. But, I applied the products and, it felt good. And I feel really great about the ingredients that are in there. So regardless of how it feels, sometimes like I can know just like looking at the ingredients that my hair is being treated properly and with the respect that I liked it to be treated with. So I was applying the products, and then I think it was like 25 minutes later, I went back to an old section because it was just way too big and I needed to make the twist smaller. And when I touched it, that like the way that my hair felt, I don't want to just say that it felt moisturized because it was more of like something I couldn't really articulate. Like my hair just felt better than it had ever felt before. And that was after the products had some time to sit in my hair. So that experience, and like I still remember the experience, and this was probably I don't remember, maybe 6 weeks ago that I reviewed these products, and I still remember this from the first week. There is something about these products that just makes your hair feel different. It kind of like rejuvenates it, I would say. Definitely felt rejuvenated with this. If you haven't seen my review or don't remember, just like because I'm reviewing everything, I'm going to be repeating things that I mentioned in my reviews, hopefully, because I would hope that my thoughts haven't really changed since my review. This Awakening shampoo, I was really nervous about using it because it is made with Castile soap and African black soap, and I feel like between the two of those being the first and second ingredients in the ingredient list, that my hair was going to feel incredibly stripped. And I hadn't felt that stripped feeling since, in a really long time. I don't even know the last time I used a stripping shampoo. But anyway, I was afraid of like going through that experience. But when I applied this to my hair, and it was just like a weird thing. It created some kind of like, I feel weird saying film because film does not sound good, but it created some kind of like a film on my scalp. And in doing so, like it kind of just like strengthened it. Like there's been some kind of like, I think it actually might have worn off last week, but again, this was like 6 or 7, maybe 8 weeks ago. It created some kind of like armor on my scalp. It also cleaned it, which is great. But I mean, like, it just, and it was also, it was not stripping at all. It was actually pretty moisturizing, pretty softening. It strengthened my scalp, which again, and I mentioned in my video, I didn't know that it was possible to strengthen someone's scalp. I figured your scalp just, I mean, it was what it was. It wasn't able to get strengthened. And now I know that you can strengthen your scalp after having used this product. So that was really great. And also, I mean, just to note, because black soap is, I know that it's something that people really, really like using, and it is one of the main ingredients in this product. Although, hold on, when I say main ingredient, where is black soap in here? It's not, okay, black soap is actually not one of the first few ingredients in this product. But anyway, that probably explains why I didn't, you know, I wouldn't expect to get the same experience. But anyway, my point is, you would think between the black soap and the Castile soap that it would have been stripping, but it wasn't stripping with all of the Ayurvedic ingredients in there. And I did post a video talking about the Beau Peep ingredients and the classy hair ingredients. And I talked through a lot of the ones that are here. I'm not going to bore everyone with that right now, but there are so many amazing ingredients in here. Ashley, the owner, she focuses on using Ayurvedic ingredients in her products. And I think one of the things that is really great about her formulas, and she mentions this on her website, is that she's taken the time to figure out, you know, what portions, like what weighting do you have to do for the different ingredients, generally getting the same effects. Saying that my connection is unstable. Hopefully that doesn't go away. People are not getting the same effects unless it's not, you know, communicating it as I did from this product. And I think it's because it's not just about buying a whole bunch of Ayurvedic herbs, putting them in a blender and making a product. You have to actually know what works together and what kind of proportions you should be using. So I would say from this particular line, the Awakening shampoo was my absolute favorite. Something I found interesting, remember I mentioned that I used 2 deep conditioners. I used the strengthening deep conditioner and I used the, what was it, the Aria? No, this is the Aria. The other conditioner. The other conditioner, the softening conditioner, the moisturizing conditioner, was not as moisturizing for me as the strengthening conditioner. So that was a little bit interesting. But yeah, so this was my favorite product. I think was a really, really great. I prefer this deep conditioner to the other one, but it was strengthening. So, you know, I wouldn't use that like on a weekly basis. And then, okay, this was really cool too. So this was the super conditioner. This was incredibly like on application. And the whole idea of using this is you infuse water into your hair as you are applying this. And this smells really good. And, oh, it still does. This smells really good. So this conditioner is the most slip that I've ever gotten from a rinse out conditioner. So I would say the Awakening, this conditioner, and then just because of the results that I felt after, you know, 20 minutes or so of applying the products, I would say that the Radiant 3-in-1. So I would say these 3 products, and I know I'm trying to choose one, but I don't have to. These 3 products were my favorite from the collection. And again, not because of the application of, sorry, this is the 3-in-1, the Radiant. Not because of the application, but because of how it made my hair feel after the fact. And I feel like it was probably a direct result of this. So yeah, I think this is great. And I know that a few people have purchased these products at my, off my recommendation. So I really hope they're working out for other people as well. I haven't actually heard back from people yet. I know that some people, at least from Black Friday, are waiting for the orders, and some people just haven't used them yet. They haven't broken that seal, but I'm really looking forward to hearing what other people are experiencing from these products as well. So, you know, it's a highly recommend. It's a highly recommend. And as I mentioned before, using these products, Melanin Haircare, I think at that point was my favorite collection. Before that, it was actually Honey's Handmade, but Honey's Handmade has what, like 46 different collections. It's so it's kind of hard to, you know, well, the Melba's Kitchen collection was my favorite, but there's also so many products within that. So yeah, that's Beau Peep. Next one, talking a lot, but I mean, I have to because I'm the only person here. So the next collection that I did was, is this the 5th one that I'm moving on to? I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. So Yamini Essentials is the last one that I have reviewed in my 5 weeks. So this was a different experience. And I say that because the products and I mentioned this in my review, I think, like verbatim, they're a little bit bipolar in my hair. Like I feel like they would be applied and they would just be like, you know, blah. And then like I applied some butter and all of a sudden they like rejuvenated and just like, there were a lot of like ups and downs. I would say overall, it's a really good collection. It's another very clean ingredient brand. But the products were kind of, you know, they were a little bit unpredictable over the 3 weeks, I would say also. So let me think about like, what would be my standouts? The shampoo bar was really weird for me. In case you haven't seen that review yet, it is interesting looking. It looks like a, I don't know, some kind of dessert. When I applied this to my hair, it was instantly really sudsy and really stripping. So as soon as I put it on, I didn't touch it. I'm afraid to touch my hair when it feels stripped because I don't want to pull my strands out because I'm trying to save as many strands as possible. I mean, like obviously. So, you know, I didn't manipulate my hair once this was in. As soon as I went back a couple of minutes later to rinse it out, it was all of a sudden really smooth, really soft, really moisturized, and it felt really great. So it was just like a weird experience. So it's not, I wouldn't say this is like my favorite because the whole like stripping thing, you know, is definitely something to contend with at the time. And again, when my hair feels stripped, it feels a little bit more fragile. But if you're not afraid of that, I know a lot of people love that sulfate feeling, and this is the sulfate feeling without the sulfate. If you like that, then I think this is a really good shampoo. And I definitely would use it again. It's just that, you know, it was a little bit interesting. I only ended up using it once because after using that, I figured I would actually I really like the Nourishing Co-Wash, so I figured I would go back and just use that again. And then I used the ACV rinse. I've never used an ACV rinse before, so it's kind of hard to judge a product that is largely apple cider vinegar because, to be fair, apple cider vinegar is probably doing most of the heavy lifting. There are a couple of oils in here in addition to it, but I mean, this is essentially just like an ACV rinse. But it was really good. I mean, it was my first ACV rinse experience, as I mentioned. What I would have to do is do a comparison, and there's not really any room in my schedule for me to actually do this. But if any of you want to do it and you have this, doing a comparison between just like using raw apple cider vinegar and this and seeing if there's any difference whatsoever between the results on the two sides. The detox mask, I will say a couple of things about this. So I've never used like a clay mask, a deep conditioner for me. For me, the deep conditioner is really where I want to see the slip. I want to be able to run through my fingers through my hair. I want to feel moisture. I want moisturization. I want to feel hydration. I want to just feel like, you know, I want to feel what you expect from a moisturizer, moisturization and all that. This was essentially like a clay mask. So I put it in my hair and it was definitely not an experience where I'm going to be detangling. But, and also another thing that I noticed, normally when I do my masks, and that would be either the bentonite clay mask, or I guess it was 2 bentonite clay masks because the Classy Hair Products one that I have as well is also a bentonite clay mask, but it's different because it has other things in it. But regardless, whenever I did that mask, I would always experience a ton of shrinkage while it was drying. I did not experience the same shrinkage using this. I've never used kaolin clay though before. I don't know if any of you have used kaolin clay, let me know. Because I don't know if that's just not something that you get as much from using that clay, but it was not particularly moist. No, it wasn't moisturizing at all because it was a clay. And it didn't shrink my hair. But again, after I rinsed it out, my hair felt really great. I used this twice. I used this 2 weeks in a row, and each week I did like it. So that was good. But I mean, like, it's not something that I can really compare to deep conditioners. So if I'm going to say just like my standout products from the Yamini Essentials line would be actually no, my answer. It's the whipped flaxseed souffle, and I'm going to use maybe this is what I'm thinking about. Hold on a second. There was a leave-in. I don't have it here. Okay, I'm missing my leave-in. The satin silk. There's a leave-in. The leave-in's really good. The gold I forgot what it was called. But anyway, the whipped flaxseed souffle was incredibly softening, as was the Julie, right? I think I remember that from Instagram. Your name is actually Julie, so thank you for joining. So the whipped flaxseed souffle, I would say, was definitely the most moisturizing product in the collection, but I feel like it also paired really, really well. Genie in a Bottle, that was the name of the leave-in conditioner. The Genie in the Bottle leave-in conditioner and the Whipped Flaxseed Souffle. And then again, I mean, I got to bring in the oil as well because I used the 3 of those together. I would say those are the standouts. It's not possible in some situations for me to just choose one favorite product. So yeah, I'm choosing 3 for that one. But the Nourishing Co-Wash was really good. The Detox Mask was interesting. And again, it was interesting for me because it was a deep conditioner, but it wasn't moisturizing, it wasn't detangling, or didn't provide slip because it was a kaolin clay mask. And then the other thing that was interesting was that it didn't shrink my hair, which I normally get from a bentonite clay deep conditioner. The Satin Silk conditioner, I feel like the last time I used it, which would have been the 3rd week, it was very, it provided a lot of slip, but I don't remember providing that same amount of slip the first time. So, I mean, honestly, I don't remember what I said in my video, but regardless of what I did say, I mean, whatever I said at the time, it was the way I was feeling at the time. I don't love this conditioner. I really like a really good, moisture infusing deep conditioner. So this was fine. I probably could have taken it or left it because the Whipped Flaxseed Souffle and the Genie in a Bottle leave-in conditioner really, really, really provided amazing amount of moisture. And I kind of I think that, I retain moisture for 7 days after using those 2 products together, but I don't think it was from the deep conditioner. And definitely the week 1 was not from the Nourishing Co-Wash, which I mentioned. So I guess those are all of the products that I have used over the first 5 weeks of my BoB123 series. And let me see if I remember this. I do have a plan for the next 4 products that I'm going to use. And then the last one is a wild card. I know I've gotten 1 request to do Soultanicals as the 5th one, but I'm waiting to see if I get in any other requests. I don't think I necessarily have a preference, so I might just end up going with Soultanicals if no one else makes another recommendation. But next I will be doing just in the next, within the next 5. So next will be after, okay, so I started with Gia Naturals. In the video that I mentioned that I was going to be doing this live stream, I said that I was going to be doing, it was going to be the week of my Yemeni Essentials week 3. That was actually last week. I used Regia Sweet Naturals for the first time today. So that's what's in my hair now. So that is going to be the first of the next 5 brands that I do. After Regia Sweet Naturals, I'm doing Taibei Naturals. That is, where is it? I mean, there's 4 or 5 products back there, but this, and I'm sorry, this is so fuzzy. I will figure that out for next time. This is Taibei Naturals. I found them on Instagram, and I think they were also recommended in that video that I did on the 7 Black-owned brands to support. And then in addition, I asked for people to give feedback. So I am excited about using these as well. And they did send me these products a while ago, so I feel bad that I haven't reviewed them yet. And that is why they are going to be coming up next. Regia Sweet Naturals also sent me their products, but because their products are less stable, I figured I would use those and get those out of the way, and then I'll move on to them. So Regia Sweet Naturals, again, I'm in progress with that right now. Then I'll be doing Taibei Naturals. After that, I was going to do Eco Slay because that has been highly requested, and they also sent me some product, and I do like to use the products that are sent to me, just like for me to review instead of me having to go out and purchase. I like to do those first. After Eco Slay, what was the next one I was going to do? Classy Hair Products, because I haven't done, I used Classy during my Duel Wash Day series, and I really, really like them, but I haven't used the products probably since like June or July. So I'd really like to use them again because those were among one of my favorite natural hair brands. So that is the order. And then again, the wild card is going to be the 5th one. So the options are pretty much the ones that I have behind me. So there is Soultanicals, Curl and Potions, Main Crush, Cryobotanicals, Sorenzo Beauty. And as I mentioned, I'm a little bit down on Sorenzo Beauty because they have in their conditioner, in their like Amla and Clay, the Amla and Brahmi Clay Wash, in their ingredients, I think like the second ingredient is like the Sorenzo shampoo mix or whatever it is. That is not an ingredient. And I can't imagine that this company versus every other company needs to have such a proprietary mixture that they can't tell me what's in it. And I reached out to them for information and they just didn't get back to me. And they don't have a lot of traffic on their Instagram, and they don't have a lot of engagement. So I know that they saw my question. The fact that they didn't answer it bugs me a bit. So anyway, that's on my list, but I'm not particularly excited about it. And what else? And Adjoa Beauty. Adjoa Beauty is definitely on my list as well, because as I mentioned, you know, that whole mess up that I had with the last week of my Duel Wash Day series, I never ended up getting out that Adjoa Beauty review. So those are the products that are in my queue. And as I mentioned again, oh, and also, sorry, I looked to the side and saw that I missed a couple. So Chocolate Kingston Curls also is in my stash, and Unicurl. I did not end up getting a Unicurl shampoo during Black Friday because, well, it was, I think they were on sale for like the shampoo. I could have gotten it for $12, but then it was like another $6 of shipping. And so I will get it before I end up doing it, but I still don't have a shampoo for it. So those are the products in queue, as I mentioned. Those are the next 4 brands that I'm going to be doing. I know there are so many, and Ashley, you wouldn't believe, or maybe you would. There are, I mean, because I started following all of the ones that I am looking into, just to like do a little bit of ingredient research to see that, you know, not just on the surface and them saying that they're natural and they're, you know, they're using safe ingredients. I do my own research. So right now I have a queue. I want to say like probably like 8 or 9 other brands that I haven't looked into yet. And it's this whole like ingredient thing that I'm on. It's very time consuming. It's a lot of work, and I don't have a lot of time, so it's taking a long time. But as you can see, I mean, I have some time with 3 weeks per review. I will definitely have time to get to you know, look into that. Another thing another brand I'm looking into is Up North Naturals. I know a lot of people have used that, and that's supposed to be really great. But yeah, I guess that is pretty much all that I had to cover on my own. I guess if you have any questions for me, let me know. Otherwise, I guess I will sign off, and I will be uploading my video on my ingredient walkthrough for Regia Sweet Naturals. That's going to be going up tomorrow, because next Tuesday I will be releasing my first review on the wash day. So that is exciting. I guess if it's exciting for you when I upload videos. So yeah, that's coming out tomorrow. Next Tuesday I have that, and you know, I'll take it from there, and I will keep my eyes out for any preferences for the 5th brand in my, you know, in my next series of 5. Thank you for joining. But yeah, I guess that's it, and I will talk to you on my Instagram and on YouTube. Thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend. All right. How do I end this? I have this problem every time. Okay. All right. Bye.